me tell you something. I've been all over, but DC has the best DJs in the United States.
People think they know Washington, D.C., but D.C. gets slept on for the cultural epicenter it is and the richness of our homegrown creative talent. And who's got their finger on the pulse of this city more than anybody? DJs. Our city DJs are our greatest ambassadors, inviting the world into what makes DC pop.
My name is Bobby Carter, also known as DJ Cuzzin B.
My name is Ebony, also known as Miss H.E.R.
I'm Malcom Xavier, DJ, producer, engineer.
Hey, I am Les Talusan, aka Les the DJ.
My name is Jerome Baker III, and I am a DJ.
The life of a working DJ is a serious grind, but for a lot of DJs in the DC area, 2020 was looking real promising.
2020 started off amazing. LA, Portland, Philippines, back to back to back in February. This is February. I'm thinking, this is my year, I got it.
My plans for 2020 were to expand my fan base and hopefully do several gigs outside of the DC area.
I was doing 7 days a week, sometimes 2 to 3 parties a day, and I'm on the radio 6 days a week.
Pre-COVID, man, I was out here getting it done. You know what I mean? I was hustling. Boom, COVID hits, and that income stopped.
Screeching home.
As we know, the panini shut everything down and everyone was stuck in the house. And as a full-time DJ, I was instantly like, oh no, what am I going to do? Because, you know, this is my lifeline. This is what I do. This is how I pay my mortgage.
I lost over, I think, 90% of my work during the pandemic.
It was an extreme sense of uncertainty, an extreme sense of what's next.
Man, the income just went from like, I was making money and then I wasn't making any money. I don't care what you say, radio DJs don't make any money.
The transition to virtual was kind of like let's just try because we don't have anything else to do. Let's just give it a shot.
You start to see DJs that are like, well, I DJ on Instagram every now and then. So you're like, let me watch this person do it. Okay, if he or she is doing it well, let me give it a shot. And you see Instagram then explodes within a week to 2 weeks. Every DJ in the country was DJing on their Instagram.
The challenges I saw with live streaming that I saw other DJs face that just completely scared me out of my pants was the technology behind it.
I had never streamed before, so I didn't know much about cameras and audio interfaces, and OBS is what you use to stream if you want to do use things like green screen and use logos on the screen. I didn't know about any of that.
I had friends that were DJs asking me like, yo, how do I set up a streaming setup? And I just like, I don't know, you just put up your phone and just DJ. There's women that are, you know, doing all these backgrounds and they got spaceships flying around their head. I don't know how any of that works. I don't want to know how that works. I just want to come and DJ and be done.
As a DJ, we were already expected to be the DJ, the host, and the sound guy. Now you're the DJ, the host, the sound guy, and you're a show producer. And that's just the show. If you want the show to look good, you gotta learn how to do graphics. So now I got Illustrator and Photoshop, and I'm learning how to do that, right? Now I need to make flyers for my streams. So now let me make a flyer, an overlay, produce the show, OBS, and then still DJ.
So you're streaming and people go into your room and then they will chat with you. So I was chatting back, like typing. I would type back because I refused to have a mic. And eventually I gave in because it was so hard to DJ, mix, and type.
We all knew that we can start with Instagram. We can DJ on Instagram. Now I'm DJing on Instagram, and you know, it's like I can DJ for X amount of time and then I'm gonna get kicked off for whatever.
I'm streaming on Instagram and then Instagram recognizes the song, it like shuts down my stream.
So you realize, boom, right away, Instagram is not particularly for us.
Most people started off on Instagram and Facebook. You're DJing, you're in your groove, and then you're getting cut off for copyright issues.
I just got my first copyright flag. I'm gonna stream one more time until I get shut down again.
As DJs, we're in clubs and venues all the time playing the same music out, but there's no one to cut you off there. We're promoting these artists by playing their music, but you want to punish us for playing the music on a virtual platform.
Clubs weren't open. These artists weren't getting their records played in clubs. the opportunity was right there on Instagram for these records to be heard, and for them to work out some sort of agreement with Instagram to get that blanket license so that people can actually rock on Instagram. So I think they missed out on a great opportunity.
I'd say by the end of March, early April, you just start to hear the word Twitch.
One of my friends who lives in Japan was telling me that I should DJ on Twitch. And I'm like, I don't understand Twitch. It's confusing. All I know is that my son used to watch other gamers there.
When you hear about Twitch and you see it, you're like, this is great. This is built for streaming video games, but we can make this work. When Twitch exploded with DJs, it exploded with DJs. Every one of the DJs that I'm fans of was on Twitch.
I started OPM Sundays. Every Sunday I play original Filipino music. I built a community there. There's people who tune in from the Philippines. And like, this is our music. They could hear it back home, but they tune in. They like the selections that I do.
I saw a lot of my DJ friends going over to Twitch and just thriving. So finally we made the transition to Twitch. Endless opportunity over there. So that's where we are now.
I took my talents to Twitch, and that's where I've been living ever since. You can stream for hours at a time. You will not get cut off. Now, if you want to play the stream back, you know, parts will be muted, but as long as you are not cut off during the moment, that's all that mattered to me, because it's just like a party. You had to be there. If you were not there, you can't relive a party. When
people start to do the whole like subscriptions and all that kind of stuff, then they're really invested. And you know that your hard work and the millions of videos you watch on YouTube, all that time is not going to waste, because people are actually willing to spend, you know, some of their hard-earned cash on you, and that's the best feeling in the world.
I was having fun. I'm kind of playing for myself. You know, as much as DJs want to do what they want to do in a club atmosphere, in a setting, at the end of the day, you're still playing for the people, and you have to play for the people. But virtually, you don't have to. You can play for yourself, and if people come along, then so be it.
I now have friends in Brazil and Mexico because of Twitch.
There will be people who are like, I'm such and such, checking in from South Korea, checking in from South Africa, checking in from the UK, checking in from Japan, and checking in often on a regular basis. Like, people now know who H.E.R is all around the world.
With all the challenges that creators have to navigate in the virtual world, we want to see tech platforms follow through on their promise of lifting up and supporting all creatives, not just the big names.
I think the way that the platforms can better serve the creatives, they have to take a play from radio. I'm able to play whatever I want to play because radio pays the license for that. Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, all have more than enough money to pay the license for all the creatives that are making your platforms what they are.
With my radio background, I understand how tricky and expensive that can get, but foot the bill for the license and let them rock. We're not hurting anything. We're promoting the artists. Get the blanket license so we can just play the way we play in the club, which is freely.
They paid for the license for D-Nice. D-Nice showed us what can happen when you can bring people together and make people feel like, even though I'm isolated in my home, I'm now connected with 1 million+ people just enjoying music for the sake of enjoying music. And there's a lot of creatives that don't have D-Nice's name, don't have his history or caliber or verified status, that are also helping people on a smaller level. If you just create some type of program for creatives where you have this licensing that allows for them to play the music, that's promoting and making tons of money for other people, a way for them to create, I think it would be a beautiful thing.
Now, as we transition from being in the house to answering the call of outside, DJs are taking what they've learned to make our creative community shine brighter than ever, and we love to see it.
DJs, particularly in DC, have utilized the pandemic as a way to strengthen their resolve, strengthen their teamwork, and just really make it a point to minimize the things that can divide us. I think this is the time for DJs to take a stance and let the world know how much they do want to be appreciated and want to be, taken seriously as artists.
There are a lot of us who are thinking in different ways creatively to engage with their audience and connect with these audiences in new ways. And I see that in DC already.
I guess we just need more space to be creative. Venues and promoters that'll let the creative actually do just that, let them be creative and not put them in a box of what they want and what they want to hear. Like, let the creative do just that.
If you're a DJ and you notice that everyone in the lineup is a cis man, suggest that a woman or non-binary DJ be included. Make space, reflect the communities around you.
My aim is to make a difference within the local community and trying to open as many doors as possible for local artists who for years have struggled to get their music on the radio, for years have struggled to have a DJ that was accessible to them.
I know that DC is an outstanding city when it comes to talent. And it's just a matter of time before the rest of the world knows that.